Good afternoon, and welcome to the June 6th, 2018 meeting of the Thousand Oaks Council on Aging. Would you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Number 3 on our agenda, may we have roll call, please?
Please say here or present when I call your name. Chair Gorbach.
Here.
Vice Chair Allen.
Here.
Commissioner Burt.
Here.
Commissioner Fotheringham is absent. Commissioner Gitt.
Present.
Commissioner Hagee.
Here.
Commissioner Maria.
Here.
Commissioner Mortimer.
Here.
And Commissioner Posta.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Number 4 on our agenda is public comment. I don't have any public comment cards. Do we have any folks who would like to make a comment today? No? Okay. Let's go on to number 5, please. Agency reports. And for that, I'm going to ask Commissioner Posta to facilitate, please.
We have Julie Spivak here. She's with the Canao Senior Volunteer Program, and she's going to bring us up to date on the new happenings there.
Thank you, John. The Canao Senior Volunteer Program has a new event this coming fall, and it is called Charity Karaoke Sing for a Cause. And like I said, it's hosted by Canao Senior Volunteer Program, and it is Canao Valley's new musical fundraiser, and it is benefiting 20 local nonprofits in one fundraising event. This event is going to take place on September 21st at Borderline in Thousand Oaks, and tickets will go on sale July 1st. If you are a nonprofit interested in taking part in this event, please register today, and it's for free by contacting Julie Spivak at 805-381-2742. The space is limited for the event. We do have 4 nonprofits we do have 4 agencies so far that are signed up, and CSVP is one of them, as well as Community Conscience will be taking part, and the Acorn will be singing, and they'll be representing I'm going blank. James Storehouse in Newbury Park. So 80% of all proceeds made go back to the nonprofit agency. It'll be a super fun event. Also, if you would like to become an official Charity Karaoke sponsor, or for more information, give the CSVP office a call. We also have a website, and it is charityKaraoke.org if you'd like to visit that for more information. And that is it. Thank you.
Yes, pay attention now, close attention, because Patty Hamm is here. She's the director of the Global Adult Community Center, and she's got loads of new happenings happening next month.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me. Good afternoon. We already had a couple of fun things, good things happen June already, being the 5th at Global Center. On Monday, Food Share started back at Global with a program, Senior Kits. They're giving away food, boxes of food for seniors who qualify at Global the first Monday of every month. And it's a very short application that they need to fill out, and they're there from 1 to 2. They're only there for 1 hour once a month. But they got this past Monday, they got a big, huge block of cheese. They got powdered milk, cans of vegetables, canned meat, and it's all for free for seniors. And last night we had our Dodger game party where about 40 folks came down to Global, and we watched the Dodgers beat up on Pittsburgh. But we had an hour rain delay, so we didn't even know if we were going to watch it. Last month's Dodger game actually got rained out in Washington. So seniors were happy, though, because we were serving Dodger dogs. So it's all about the snacks. So they were happy, and they got to see their Dodgers, and they got to see them win. So it was a good day. Workshops coming up in June. We have Aging, Slow It Down. Friday, June 29th. When does aging really start? What can you do to slow the process? I'm going to go to that one. And what does it mean to take these steps? So if you want to learn more about that, come and listen to Dr. Paul Gilmartin talk about the factor of aging that you can control. And that is June 29th on Friday. You can either call the center at 381-2744 or come by and sign up. On Friday, June 29th as well, right after that seminar from 1:45 to 2:30, we will have dentist Dr. Tinchner there talking to us about aging, how it affects the oral cavity. And he'll be she will be providing some lunch also to entice all the seniors to come in to listen to her to talk about how aging affects our overall oral health and how important it is, even as we age. So again, you can call 381-2744 or stop by the front desk and sign up. Some fun events coming up. Unfortunately, our Music Comes Alive series, the Surf City All-Stars Beach Boys Tribute Band, is sold out. We sold over 200 tickets in a matter of a week. But it will be on Sunday, June 24th, just to let you know some fun things that we're doing. We have about 20 spots left for our June 15th, next Friday, Goebel Center Summer Barbecue. We'll be having tri-tip and chicken and barbecue beans, and a live band, dancing, music, and fun. $9 a ticket, and you can purchase that at the front desk. And for summer, I entice all of you seniors to come out to the pool and exercise with us. Monday through Thursday, we offer free water exercise classes from 12 to 1. On Mondays and Wednesdays, those lessons will happen at the Thousand Oaks High School pool. Tuesdays and Thursdays will be at Newberry Park High School pool. And it begins June 18th and goes through August 16th. There's a little problem this summer. It's not a big problem. Newberry Park High School pool's under renovation, so they got some snags, and we're gonna hold our Monday. Our Tuesday, Thursday, gets confusing. Our Tuesday, Thursday Newberry Park lessons at Thousand Oaks High School until it opens. But it's scheduled to open July the 7th. So if you got confused, because I'm confused now over that schedule, you can always stop by the center and grab our Goebel Gazette, and it'll give you all the good information or a flyer. And I hope to see you all out in the summer, out in the pool with your sun cap and your what is that called, that lotion you put on you? Thank you, sunscreen. Boy, I'm having a tough day today. I'm about to be a grandma for the first time, so my mind is somewhere else. I'm waiting for the call. Okay, so that is it for summer, for June. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. That was I told you not to I told you to pay attention, right? She had loads of information, loads of wonderful stuff, and Patty never disappoints.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Boy, it's a good thing I picked up my Music Comes Alive tickets on the first day they were available. This is just a note to everyone. Mark it down on your calendar because those sell out, they go fast, and those are the best shows around. The best. Really looking forward to the Beach Boys coming up in June. Okay, I'd like to call upon Vice Chair Allen now to facilitate the next part of our meeting.
Oh, thank you. Our first talk on with 6A on education will be Commissioner Burt.
Thank you, Vice Chair Allen. These last 6 months, I've talked about a number of different educational opportunities for seniors here in the Canao Valley. Some of them included Cal Lutheran University, Osher Lifelong Learning Center, Senior Without Walls, the Goebel Center, and Thousand Oaks Library. Today I would like to talk about the Canal Valley Adult Education, and I do have a catalog here. I picked it up actually out of my mailbox, and so can you. It does get delivered. And what they do, they're actually a part of the Canal Valley Unified School District. So it's not restricted only to seniors, but to all adults. But there are special educational classes geared towards seniors, and those include painting, advanced Spanish, quilting, dance, tone and balance, yoga. There's also a number of computer classes and social media kinds of instruction. So if you're having trouble or have family that's on Facebook and you really like to connect with them and don't want to be isolated, these classes could be very beneficial. These are fee-based. Some of the other ones we've talked about during the course of the year are not, but these are fee-based. The instructors are all vetted. They have expertise and experience in those areas that they do teach. Although the summer 2018 catalog offerings are underway, and they have been since the end of April, actually, the next time is going to be fall 2018. The catalog will be available July 16th, and you can register at that time, but you can pick up a catalog at their campus at 1025 Old Farm Road in Thousand Oaks, and everybody knows where that is. It's off of Jan's. And these catalogs are actually mailed, so they could be in your mailbox. And if you don't see it and you're interested in any of the classes, of course, pick up a catalog or go online. Their website is www.canaoadulted.org. And as I mentioned, their classes and registration starts July 16th. So thank you, and I'd like to turn it back to Vice Chair Allen.
Thank you, Commissioner Burt. I have to give a shout out for them because I am taking 2 classes right now, film noir and selling on eBay. So it's been a bucket of fun, so I highly recommend it. Next, we have myself talking about health as I'm trying to stay healthy here. Okay. Previously, I think about November, I spoke about the shingles vaccine. And I want to say a little bit more about it today because it's so important for those of us that are seniors. Next slide, please. This is repeat from what I did before, so it's a little smaller. It's very likely that we've all had chickenpox as children. But this vaccine is very important, even if you haven't had chickenpox. But if you've had chickenpox, this herpes zoster is a reactivation of that same virus, and it lives in our nerves, the ganglions, and in our nerve endings. And then when we get under stress or we have cancer, shingles is oftentimes a first indicator that an elderly person might have cancer. It happened with my dad at 94 and a half. And so when it reactivates, especially after 80, I didn't put that slide in there, and I'll go into some statistics on the next slide, but when it reactivates, the pain is very severe, and we don't have the cells, the receptors as we age that can fight off that pain, and oftentimes that pain is persistent. So I'm after the rash recedes. Okay, so next slide, please. In the general population, this is just to give you some idea of how important for seniors this is. It only affects about 4 adults per 1,000 per year. When you're over 60, 2.5 times. That goes up to 2.5 times, about 10 cases. But over 85, you have a 50-50 chance of getting shingles and having persistent pain. Okay, next slide, please. In fall of, right about the time I gave my first talk, they came out with ShingRx, and it's a new vaccine that's been approved by the FDA, and the CDC recommends, even though, and I had the original shingles vaccine, that you get revaccinated with 2 shots. And sometimes you'll only need 1 shot, but I'm not going to go, check with your healthcare provider. But the good news about this vaccine is 97% effective in preventing shingles for people aged 50 to 69 and 91% effective for people over 70. So it's just really good. And it also, post-shingles nerve pain that I mentioned before, is prevented 90% of the time versus 65% of the time with the previous vaccine. So I just want to make put it in writing that it's really, really important. The next slide, please. Medicare Part D does cover the vaccination, so check with your healthcare provider to find out. And there's a couple of websites where my resources were, and you can go on ARP and look at health conditions. I'm not going to read out the whole thing. And WebMD, which is an excellent source of healthcare, vetted source of healthcare information. I got emails from both of them in the last few weeks and months about this vaccine. And as you can see by the statistics and as we age, it's just really important. And so I hope everybody will check with your healthcare provider to see whether or not you should have the vaccine. Okay, thank you. Next, we'll have number C is Senior Deals by Commissioner Posta.
No boy. Continuing from Commissioner Allen's presentation, a little segue. Most seniors, myself included, have numerous medical problems as we age. It just comes with age and it gets worse, trust me. We face many expenses. Are there any deals out there? You bet there's some out there. The bad news is that yesterday, you could have availed yourself of a 20% off in-store discount at Walgreens. Too late today to avail yourself of it. The good news, you can go to Rite Aid today and tomorrow. You get 30% off on all your purchases. So get off your butts and get out there. These discounts arise from time to time at most pharmacies, usually on a specific day of the week, and usually they're exclusively for seniors. So look out for them. You know, they're in the papers, they're in advertisements. Go when you can. You save loads of money. Remember, you snooze, you lose. Are you aware that some insurers will send seniors a discount card that you can show when paying for prescriptions? Just remember to check with your local pharmacy to see what discounts are available to you, because discounts might change depending on what pharmacy you go to and actually which location of that pharmacy. Many seniors may be able to get extra benefits they don't even know are available. You can also check if you are eligible to get vision, dental, hearing, or a prescription drug coverage by your plan. It really pays you to know what's available, because if you don't know, you can't avail yourself of them. Many doctors, dentists, hospitals, and so on give discounts or waive copays. Ask and you might receive, seek and you may find. My wife and I get a discount from our dentist simply because I asked for it. Asked him for a discount, he said, okay. Remember, if you don't ask, you probably won't get. You all you may already be aware of a great program for seniors called Silver Sneakers, an exercise program designed for seniors focusing on core strength, flexibility, and especially on balance. We have so many friends that have been into the emergency ward because of falls for older people. We really need to improve our balance and improve the muscles that will keep us in balance. Good news again, many insurance carriers such as Anthem Blue Cross cover all charges. Many gyms locally offer it, including Gold's, Curves, Anytime Fitness, 24-Hour Fitness, and Fitness 19. A wise man said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So true. After your workout, you can reward yourself with my weakness, ice cream. Ice cream may not be good for the body, but it sure is good for the soul, especially mine. Did you know that you can enjoy a free ice cream at Baskin-Robbins? Download their mobile app and you get a free scoop of your favorite ice cream. The only hard part is choosing which flavor to pick. Simply download the app, create an account, and click on the Deals tab to get this offer. If you really, really like ice cream, come create and celebrate at the Goebel Center on Wednesday, July 25th at 3:30. Tickets are only $3. Join us at the Goebel Center with Patty. Patty will be there for an intergenerational afternoon of arts and crafts, unlimited ice cream sundaes, and more. As we celebrate summertime, bring your kids, grandkids, great-grandkids. Pick up tickets at the Goebel Center beginning on June 20th. Save the date. If you really love ice cream, lots of it, go for it. Thank you.
Thank you. And I can attest to the 31 flavors deal. And you can sign up, and then every month they send you a application thing, that bar cart, and you can get 2 scoops for the price of 1 for about 6 days. Anyway, next is 6D, and that's social service, and that'll be Commissioner Maria.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen. What I'm going to talk about today is the Concerts in the Park series that's sponsored by the Canao Recreation and Parks District. Most of you know that the Canao Recreation and Parks District offers a myriad of services to our community. They have a variety of classes that come out on a quarterly basis that for a modest fee you can participate in. They have art classes, dance, aquatics. My favorite that I took last quarter is pickleball. I'm becoming quite the expert. They also have and maintain our fabulous parks and hiking facilities and trails. And the thing that I like the most is they support seasonal festivities. They have egg hunts, they have spring arts and craft festivals. And the one that I want to talk about today, since we're about 2 weeks away from kicking off summer, is their Summer Concerts in the Park series. These are free concerts that they offer all summer long. There's about one a month. You bring your own blanket, your own lawn chairs, you bring your own picnic, come with a group of friends, you get out on the lawn, and they have great music. And you do want to come early and get prime seating because it does get crowded, but it's really a fun event. The one, we missed the first one, which was in May, the 28th. Memorial Day had a Queen tribute band, and it was very successful. The next one coming up is July 4th, and it's the LA All-Stars, and they'll be playing some patriotic hits for the July 4th celebration. Sunday, July 22nd, is Mirage, which is a Fleetwood Mac cover band. Sunday, August 12th, is Yachtly Crew, which I'm assuming is a Motley Crue cover band. I'm just guessing. And then to end the season on Labor Day, Monday, September 3rd, is the Petty Breakers, which is a Tom Petty tribute band. So great music selections. So I encourage you all to go. And again, on the next slide, the events are all free, and all of them are held at the Canao Community Park, which is 1175 Hendricks Avenue, Thousand Oaks, and it's off Gainsborough, and it's on the intersection of Dover and Hendricks. All the concerts are free. They all begin promptly right at 5 p.m. And if you want more information, I would recommend you go to the website, and it's www.crpd.org/events, and it'll walk you right through all of the schedules and all the events and where to find them. And that's all I have. So I'll turn it back to
And I'll turn it back to you for item.
And now it's back to me. Yes.
Item E.
Yeah. So
Senior of the Year.
So I did want to kind of wrap up Senior of the Year. I know I've been talking about it since January. I'm pleased to announce that our Senior of the Year banquet, which is going to be tomorrow night at 5:30 at Goebel Center, is sold out. So it's very exciting, and I want to thank everybody that supported us with that. You're going to be hearing in just a few minutes from our fantastic nominees this year for Senior of the Year, and they'll be introduced shortly, but I do want to take time out just to thank our sponsors. Our dinner sponsors are the City of Thousand Oaks and Los Robles Hospital. And our additional sponsors are the Reserve at Thousand Oaks, the Goebel Adult Community Center, Canao Senior Volunteer Program, Harley's Bowl, the Thousand Oaks Library Foundation Store, and UCLA. So we want to thank everybody for supporting us. We can't believe we're sold out this year. And like I said, in just a few minutes, you'll hear from our fabulous nominees.
Thank you. I'll turn it back over to Commissioner.
That's okay.
Yeah, Gorback.
It's all good.
Senior moment.
It's okay. You know,
I was going to say Karen, but that's not
Karen,
too
you
legal.
know,
So
Karen is good. Karen is good. So throughout this year, Commissioner Fotheringham and Commissioner Healey and myself have been attending the advisory council meetings for the Ventura County Area Agency on Aging. And we've brought you some information about this organization throughout the year. And just as a very quick summary, and I really, really encourage you to go on their website because the amount of information there is mind-boggling. You go to vcaa.org. Either on your computer or on your phone. It works very nicely on the phone. That's VC, Ventura County AAA, Area Agency on Aging.org. And for instance, you can find information about the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program, about free fall prevention classes. We heard how important it is to maintain our balance as we age. There are free classes, fall prevention, throughout Ventura County. Free transportation vouchers, just for the asking. There are senior nutrition programs. There's the home share program. There's the Family Caregiver Resource Information Center. Lots and lots of really good information. You need to go on the website to find it. Today, I just wanted to remind you also that the Area Agency on Aging follows and supports state legislation that pertains to the well-being of seniors. And, you know, sometimes we don't think about laws as they're winding their way through the legislative process until something happens. And then we say, oh, there ought to be a law. Well, the Area Agency on Aging, Ventura County, agrees there ought to be a law. And they are supporting a number of assembly bills that are winding their way through the process right now. And one in particular, I wanted to just read a bit about to you so that you can maybe, as you see something in the paper, kind of keep your eye on it. And we, of course, are going to keep our eye on legislation also and report to you as we see some positive outcomes. So the County of Ventura supports proposals that would increase awareness and prevention of elder abuse and dependent adult abuse to include the following: increase funding for elder abuse prosecution and prevention programs, expedite reimbursement or restitution to seniors victimized by financial crimes, increase the penalties for those convicted of crimes against seniors, expand the list of mandatory reporters of elder abuse to include notary publics. Makes sense. And support legislation that includes money transmitters in the definition of mandated reports of suspected elder abuse, and require licensed persons to report the known or suspected instance of financial abuse of an elder or dependent adult immediately or as soon as possible to the local Adult Protective Services Agency or law enforcement agency. So these are proposed laws that, again, they're assembly bills right now that are winding their way through the process, and the County of Ventura, our Agency on Aging, supports these types of laws, and we will keep you apprised of what happens to them. Okay. So now I would like to go to number 8 on our agenda, Commissioner Reports, and let's start down at this end. You're good. More than good. Okay. Anyone? Anyone at this end?
Good.
Commissioner?
I'm always good.
Okay, everyone's good at that end.
I
How
have
about
no-
this end? You have something?
yes, I do.
Okay, wait, we're going to go back to Vice Chair Allen. You're on.
Okay, those of you that follow the website or have a link to some of the great City of Thousand Oaks, different financial planning, green newsletters. Today I got a great one. It's for the app. It's called Recycle TO. And you can look up where you want to recycle anything. in our area. And I downloaded it immediately because my printer totally died this morning. And I thought, oh, where do I take it to recycle it? And so anyway, I just want to say that there's a great app. It's Recycle.to, and it's both on Android and iPhones. And then the other thing is I got my new Medicare card in the mail this week. So watch for your card and be very careful with it, and make sure that any senior that has a little memory problems or something gets it and puts it in a safe place and records the new ID number, because it's a very complex number.
Thank you, Vice Chair Allen. Commissioner comments down here? Yes, Commissioner Gitt.
So I'm pleased to report that the Canao Valley Village just completed its 1-year anniversary party. And so if you or anybody is interested in joining up, you can go to our website at canaovalleyvillage.org. Our mission is to help seniors stay in their homes as long as possible and remain socially connected to the community. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, Commissioner Burt.
Hi. To take off on what Commissioner Allen talked about in terms of the new Medicare cards, if you have one, the old one like mine was, and you get sick and tired of trying to scotch tape it together because it was in your wallet and it looked like it had been through how many washes, you can actually, here's my new card, and it is enclosed in plastic. And for a very, very small fee, you can get this enclosed in plastic over at FedEx, the old Kinko's location. It's very easy to do, and it's under $2 to do it. So I would highly suggest doing something like this to keep that card, because it is so valuable to us. So just wanted to make sure that we all knew about that.
You're good? You're better than good. Okay. And then I would just like to make a couple of comments. I attended the first anniversary party for the Canao Valley Village that Commissioner Gitt mentioned, and it was fabulous, wonderful party, and great people, and what a tremendous resource. You're really going to want to check that out for you or for someone you know. That's Canao Valley Village. Just Google it, and you will be very happy that you did. And then Commissioner Burt gave a shout out to the Canao Valley Adult School, and I just completed teaching a class there on memoir writing, which was fabulous. I'll be teaching a couple more writing classes there in the fall, but even better, I am taking a class right now called Chair Yoga, because for someone like me and my shiny new hip, we don't get down on the ground very often, or if we're down, we have a really hard time getting up. So chair yoga, it's the only exercise I've started a lot of exercise classes. This is the only one I've stuck with, because I can do it, and it's really relaxing and wonderful. The teacher is fabulous, woman named Ruth Piper, and I'll definitely be taking it again in the fall. So join me if you want an exercise class where you don't have to get on the ground or sweat. I don't really understand why people like to sweat anyway. Never really understood that, but you might think about that. Okay, so that
I just have one more thing. In chair yoga, if you're a Y member, they have a wonderful chair yoga class every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings that I take, and it is awesome. I've taken it for years.
It's awesome. Okay, and now for number 9 on our agenda, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Commissioner Mortimer.
Thank you, Karen. It is my pleasure to be introducing the 2017 Senior of the Year volunteer, and that's Patricia Grant. She's going to come up and speak about why she likes to volunteer, what she's learned this past year as the Senior of the Year, and then she'll be introducing each of the nominees, so we'll get to know each one of them. So, Patricia?
Good afternoon, Chair Gorbach, Council on Aging, Commissioners. It's been a really special gift for me to have served as your 2017 Thousand Oaks Senior of the Year, and I thank you so much for this privilege. I especially thank you in light of the very deserving individuals who were nominated with me last year. Thank you also goes to the Canal Senior Volunteer Program for nominating me. I'm very active with this outstanding group who do so much for the seniors in the community. And speaking of helping seniors in the community, I want to also thank Patty, Julie, and Francine over there who just give so much to our seniors. I started volunteering when my young children were in school, ages and ages ago, in the Canal Valley Unified School District. I could fit things in at that time like being a room mother, a brownie leader, baking cookies, but it was mostly things that I could do in the summertime because I was teaching full time as soon as my young children got to be school age. I became really aware of volunteering, what it was all about as a teacher who had wonderful parents working with me in my classrooms. And then once I became a principal, I couldn't believe how much I counted on parent volunteers who helped out the school tremendously, not only as classroom volunteers, but members of the PTA and the site council. I remember making a promise to myself that when I retire, I'm going to do that same thing. Well, that time came, and while I was reluctant to retire, my husband had already retired and wanted someone to travel with in times other than the summer. So I took a year's leave of absence to make sure that I had enough going so that I didn't get bored. I was so used to interaction with kids and colleagues, parents, and others that I felt I had to keep this going. Well, I did, and I never looked back. I started off in the schools. One of my daughters, Sue, taught 4th grade, and I worked with her kids to publish a monthly newspaper. It went so well that the principal at another school, my grandkids' school, asked if I would do the same thing at his school, and so I did. In addition, with a request from another principal, I set up counseling groups at his school for children who needed a little extra help. Personally, I was looking for ways to be involved while helping to make a difference in the lives of individuals. I know how much of a need persisted in this area, especially when I went through training at Interface to become a child-parent mediator. I served there for several years. I was soon involved not only with the individual schools, but other groups and organizations throughout the Canao, and I loved it because it continued to give me a chance to interact and make a difference. There were many organizations that I worked with and still work with in the area, like the Canao Las Virgenes Future Foundation, the Arts Council of the Canao Valley, the Thousand Oaks Arts Commission, the California Museum of Art, Community Conscience, and of course the Canao Senior Volunteer Program, and others. I also remained on the School Attendance Review Board in the Canal Valley Unified School District, on which I served as a member for years as a counselor and a principal. After retirement, I was asked to return to the board as a volunteer community representative. And I want to tell you a little bit about this group because I don't think a lot of people know a whole lot about it. It is actually one of the most enjoyable volunteer things that I do, and where I have found a place that not only challenges me, but helps fulfill my need to help. We gather every 2 weeks during the school year at the district office, and we meet with students in grades kindergarten through 12th grade who, for one reason or another, have an attendance problem. They don't come to school regularly or on time. And by the way, that is the law. I sit on this board with school personnel, the district attorney's office, and representatives from public health, the Canao Rec and Park District, Children, Family Services, Probation, Interface, and the Sheriff's Department, along with a parent representative who has served on the board longer than I have. Students in grades K through 12, along with their parents, are summoned to come to a meeting with the SARB members, and a school attendance review board, so you remember that, one family at a time. Each parent has previously been sent 2 letters from the school alerting them to the fact that their child has an attendance problem. If attendance does not improve after these 2 letters, they get a 3rd letter from the district office, and they are summoned to the SARB meeting. It can be very intimidating to enter a room with all these individuals, and in most cases, it's obvious that both the child and the parent are very nervous. However, our representatives break the barriers quickly by their kindness, gentleness, and their purposeful way of getting right to the problem. What we've seen over the years is that many times parents are just not aware of what their older children do during the school times. Many drop them off in the morning, and for them, that's it. When we question both the parent and the child together, the truth comes out with things like, I don't like school, so I just go home. I hate the kids at school. They're mean to me. My classes are so hard, I don't understand. I'm always sick. I get sick a lot. I'm too tired to get up in the morning. And a unique one, I like to play video games all day long. The child may be depressed and anxious. There may be home problems like drug abuse in the family, parents in jail or deported, or in many cases, it is a one-parent home. We also find that some of our youngsters have drug problems right here in the Canal Valley. Sometimes parents work long hours and have difficulty getting their child to school. Some parents don't understand or speak English and have little idea of how our schools work. We are finding more and more of this over the years in the Canal, and we have several interpreters in our group to help out in these situations. Anyway, after talking to the parent and child for a while, we excuse them and they go out of the room, and we meet together to try to come up with solutions to help solve the attendance problem. Depending on what we find, it may be a referral to the health department, the sheriff's department, or other agencies, and sometimes it's a home visit. The child's school representative is highly involved in this decision. As a last resort, it may be that the parent and or the older student receive a citation and must appear in court. This takes place when they ignore our recommendations or when they have made no effort to return to school regularly and on time, as is indicated by the contract that they sign. In any case, something is done with every child, and in most cases, a solution is found. Our students return to school in the most cases, and they move on toward graduation, which is our goal. It is amazing the number of organizations that provide help to the individuals with problems, and the SARB board together they're in a perfect position to recommend some of these services along with the services of the school district. After a contract is signed, we often follow up with a call in the following days to make sure the child is going to school. If they're not, they come back for another SARB meeting and they do take more drastic measures. A very sad situation occurred just a year or so ago when a 3rd grader told us he couldn't come to school because he didn't have any shoes to wear. And the ones that he did have, the kids made fun of. They were torn and had holes, and they were just a mess. This little boy was homeless, and he lived in a car with his mom. That day after we had adjourned, my granddaughter and I hit Target and found just the thing for him. I delivered the shoes to the principal the next morning. Problem solved. His attendance improved dramatically. I also remember in this group one of our members paying for an eye exam for a little kid who complained he couldn't see very well. Help like this is pretty common from our group, and a tremendous amount of help is right out there in the community if you know where to look for it. Anyway, that's SARB, and I continue to be so satisfied with the part I play in this group. And along with other volunteer activities, it fulfills my sense of being needed in the Canal and involved in making the lives of community members a bit better. Thank you. Now, I've been appointed. Donna, should I just go ahead and introduce? We have a group with us today of 4 people, although one individual could not be here. These are the nominees for the Senior Volunteer of the Year Award for 2018. And they're each going to come up and give you a short synopsis of what they're all about. And we're going to start with, in alphabetical order, Bob Cacavo. Bob Cacavo. And I practiced that so I would get it right. How do you do, Bob? Okay. Bob.
Okay, my name is Bob Cacavo. I've been nominated by the Volunteer in Policing Program, Corina Alzano. Now, I've been a member of the Volunteer Policing Program for around 20 years. And our job is primarily to relieve the sheriff and the police staff members of the more mundane type works that we do. For instance, we will take reports, crime reports where there are known suspects. We will do house checks. We'll take reports on crimes, vandalism. We'll take reports on found property, lost property. We will do patrolling. We will do house checks. And we'll do anything that will relieve the patrol officers of what needs to be done for them. I've accumulated excuse me, I've got a cold. I've accumulated around 16,000 hours in the 18 years that I've been a volunteer in policing. Other current assignments I have right now, I teach Spanish to people who want to learn Spanish, primarily senior citizens, and then I also teach English to people who want to learn English. I have a member of the undocumented workers, of people who have been here for 7, 8 years, who practically don't know English at all. After working with me and with other school personnel, he's taken the GED test, passed the GED test, and has done significantly well. So he's really, really proud. Also, not to mention the fact that I've been a member of the docents, the Ronald Reagan Library, for more than 24 years. So I really like what I do. I feel that it's in giving I get. I give a lot of education to people or whatever, but in return, I get pleasure from doing this to them. So I feel honored being, mentioned or honored, proposed that I become a Volunteer of the Year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. Our next nominee is Margaret Feewiger.
Hello, I'm Margaret Feewiger, and Community Conscience nominated me. There are 2 themes that kind of come across in the service that I'm giving in the community, and one is education, and one is come back again. The first one, education. At Community Conscience, I learn so much about the needs of this community and the people who are in it. The 13 nonprofits that we house for free in our building extend themselves widely through our community and service needs beyond what I knew and understand. They inspire me. They inspire me to be a better person. They inspire me to want to give more. And they're full circle for me because years ago, it was in the late 70s, that I was asked as a young professor of communication to facilitate a group of nonprofit leaders in our community to find out what their greatest need was. And after 2 days, we discovered it was a place where they did not have to pay rent, because when given the choice, they wanted to pay their workers before they wanted to pay rent. And this wonderful group of community conscience made that happen. And I'm really honored to be part of them. That second theme of education, California Museum of Art, is so very dear and special to my heart. We are here in your community now as an outgrowth of a group that I chaired in the Canao Las Virgenes Future Foundation. It was called then Housing the Visual Arts. It went to become the Regional Art Museum, and it now ends up as California Museum of Art, Thousand Oaks. We're going to have a new exhibition of people who actually entered a competition that was judged by the art departments of our community colleges and our 2 universities in the area. It is called Power, and it will be opening in July, so please come. Art encourages all of us to become more curious. It helps us to interact with others and ask questions. It brings our own creativity forward. And our new executive director says over and over again, it's the place where ideas are shared and people connect. Education also, in regard to the Senior Congress. For 14 years, I've been on a group, started again by Canao Las Virgenes Future Foundation, giving a Senior Congress. And every single year, we have a new topic, and it's usually from 9 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon, including lunch, for seniors, and we draw 250 to 300 each year. Last night, we began our planning for what we're going to be doing next January or February, and I will tell you this, again, I learned so much in planning these events, and I learned so much from the seniors who attend them. A very special group that I'm new to, relatively new to, is the Canao Senior Volunteer Program. Julie's our great leader, and again, with over 1,000 seniors in the community offering their wisdom, their experience, their skills, I'm so very proud to be part of that group. I, again, learn and gain so much. We try to support this group with our fundraising and with Julie's great ideas for new things, but on the other hand, they support us with the wonderful things that they give back to the community. One of these full cycle things for me is relationship conclusion. I was part of the group that initiated Hospice of Canao back in the 70s. And it was a natural for me because at that time I was a professor of communication and looking at issues like relationship conclusion. And I served in many various ways, both as a caregiver, as someone who prepared volunteers, and on the board. When I got more involved in higher education, I had to kind of leave that for a period of time. But full circle, I'm now a relationship conclusion worker by working in my church. And I am a bereavement minister, and I sit down and work with families on how they want to conclude this person's life in the Mass that is offered and the vigil that precedes them. So again, I've learned so much in what I have done in the community that I will say as a volunteer, one of the best things that happened to me is that it expands my own learning. It also gives me a sense of purpose after I have retired. More importantly, it's brought so many new friendships to me. The socialization is so important. It helps to give me a sense of accomplishment, and I really do think that it also contributes to not only my good health physically, but mentally. It allows me to give back something to this wonderful community that we share. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. Our next nominee is Nancy Healey.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, City staff, CRPD staff. Two organizations that have really, I think, made a difference in my life. I'm going to do this a little bit from the selfish side of volunteering. Was when I first retired, I had a job that took a lot of time. I had a lot of responsibility. And then I had a serious illness that made me have to leave quicker than I thought. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do with all this time? I used to be important and people would want to talk to me. And now I'm going to be home all day. So I went over, and this was years ago. Cindy Powers was head of the RSVP. And we talked about everything I could possibly do. And she found a job for me with the long-term care Ombudsman program. And some of you are present today that are part of this program. And I never knew whether I could do it, but I know my mom had been a person that was in a home, assisted living facility on the other side of the country, and it's very difficult. And I remember thinking, wow, that would have been great if I had somebody like an ombudsman. So I got started on the ombudsman program, and I realized that working with seniors, I love working with dogs too, but I thought, well, the seniors, everybody likes working with dogs, but not everybody really likes working with seniors. So my husband was always glad because he said, if you'd work with dogs, you would have been bringing them home, and you're not going to be out bringing all the seniors home. But so I got started with that, and then Cindy is the one who talked me into applying for Council on Aging, and I did. And I learned so much from this very organization. I served for 8 years. And with Council on Aging, I got involved in the startup of Canao Valley Village. And I appreciate Karen's kind remarks about that. And it is a great organization for seniors to help them stay in their homes just a little bit longer so that they can be safe and stay in their community and be involved. And we have so many parties and so many activities. That's how I got into the Canao Valley Village. When you visit with the Ombudsman program, these residents will tell you over and over, and as I said, we have some here, what you have meant to them. And it's really genuinely true. I mean, it is really true. They are excited when you come. I don't remember my family being quite that excited when I'd get somewhere, but they are, and it is super duper rewarding for you. But it helped, besides anybody else that I may have brought any pleasure to, it really helped me. I think I would have had a much harder time dealing with an unexpected retirement than I did. Things were going along really, really well, and Canal Valley Village was getting started. We were doing super well. And then my husband got sick and passed away, unfortunately. And I don't think that was in 2015. It was very difficult, I will say, and I'm sure anybody here that experienced this knows it was. But having my support from my friends at Canal Valley Village, knowing that this sounds crazy, that I could go over to the Goebel Center and it would be a safe place, all of these things were just huge. And knowing that there were people I could call and meet, almost all of whom were from volunteering. One of the most special things I learned was I visited a number of homes in the area, the boarding cares, the 6 beds, the assisted livings. And these residents largely need a lot of support. And I was really amazed by how many of them really supported me. And they would say, I know I heard about your husband, can I get you a card? I can't get out much. I said, I don't need a card, And they would sit and share their own experiences with me with stuff. So it was really amazing how much support I got back from the volunteering that I have done. I just was making some notes right here because I went to my granddaughter's graduation this morning. And one of the things that I think has probably been the funnest volunteer job that I've had is being on the Goebel Commission, because we do so many fun things. I know Patty just mentioned them, but we do things that people who maybe wouldn't be able to take 3 or 4 people to a concert one afternoon, and they can do it with us. You can come if you're in a wheelchair, you can come whatever. So I have really enjoyed the actually putting on the programs. I guess what I'm saying really is that volunteering has been more help for me, I think, than I have ever been to anybody, no matter how many times they say it. But if you go out to visit somebody and you realize that they are in a lot worse shape than you are, and they are there saying, I would really like to do something to help you. What could I do? What could we talk about? So I think that I have gained way more from volunteering, and especially with our senior community, than I have gotten out of it. And I would encourage anyone, I know all of you do volunteer, but anybody who listens, get out, try it, go to CSVP. Julie Spivak is there now, not Cindy, but they can find something for you. There are so many things, and it will make your life better, in addition to hopefully at least a few people you may affect positively. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Our last speaker is Irene Sida.
Esteemed council members and fellow nominees, I'm Irene Sida, and my nominator is the amazing Cynthia Bengston, a Global Center Commissioner. The Stagecoach Museum is a large part of my volunteer service. Living in the Canal for 45 years and having been a long-distance commuter, when that chapter of my life ended, I got to rebuild an extended family, and that came through volunteer service. It has been an honor to be supported and to get to support, to be welcomed and to get to welcome, to use the skills I have and learn new ones, to connect with new friends and organizations. And so it began. Responding to an article in the Acorn inviting Canao residents to the launch party of the Canao Resource Center a while back at the Oaks Mall, I attended out of curiosity and appetizers. I was welcomed in conversation at that event by the Director of Volunteers at Senior Concerns and helped out in their office and volunteered at the annual Love Run race where I handed out race bibs and water bottles. Very excited. Back at the party, friendly people inspired me to sign up for training to staff the Resource Center booth at the Oaks Mall. A friend told me about Ollie Osher. Over 1,000 of us mature, over 50, energetic adults living Curiosity Never Retires in classes with no homework, no exams, taught by experts. In history, imagine the Middle East 100 years ago. In science, the power of stem cells. In the arts, in social justice. I am an Ollie student and became a class ambassador. And I learned and grew into the role as a recruiter of professors and speakers. Hello. The Global Community Center is also a beautiful connection for me. And one of my exciting opportunities was when I got to bring Kiki Ebsen's musical tribute to Buddy Ebsen, her father, to a sellout global gathering. Friends brought me to the Stagecoach Inn Museum, where I have been using my community background to preserve and promote history. My extended family, with the Stagecoach Inn Museum and the Ollie program, are the foundations for my volunteer service. My life has continued to unfold and be enriched. All of this feeds me as much as it helps with the work that needs to be done. Thank you for your service because you have provided me with this opportunity. Thank you.
Well, that's the last of our volunteers that are here today. We have one volunteer still in the running. Is this so, Sharon? Yes, and she could not be here today.
Correct.
Sharon Lehrer. All right, we'll turn the meeting back to you.
Thank you, Patricia, and thank you for introducing our nominees, and thank you to all our nominees. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow at our awards dinner. Thank you.
Okay, and my thanks also to the really inspiring words you gave us today, and your work is so sincerely appreciated. Thank you. I'd like to adjourn the meeting now with just a couple of words. And first of all, my profound thanks. This is our last televised meeting of the year. We'll have a workshop meeting coming up on June 19th, and of course that's open to the public. We always, and all of our meetings are open. This is our last televised meeting of the year, so I'd like to thank each commissioner who worked so hard this year on your behalf to bring you our programs. And first, my right-hand person, Vice Chair Loretta Allen. Thank you very much. And then Commissioners Jeff Burt and Nick Fotheringham, thank you. And Commissioner Tony Gitt, Commissioner Ron Hagee, Commissioner Terry Maria, Commissioner Donna Mortimer, and Commissioner John Posta. And your work and your time are appreciated. Thank you. Thank you very much. And then a very, very special thanks to our city analyst, Francine Spriegel, because your smarts and your dedication and your time and your passion for what you do makes everything happen. Nothing happens without you, Francine. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you very much. So that concludes our last televised meeting of this year, and we will see you again in the fall. I believe our first televised meeting will be the first Wednesday in October. And with that, I will conclude our meeting. Thank you.